Well, hello and welcome back, my body language buddies and my royal rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and we are back in another live. I'm on the road. I have been traveling all day, and I was destroyed. I must say it. I was destroyed. I had no energy left or whatsoever. But I took a 1 hour nap. You know that those it was not a power nap. It was a full on 1 hour nap to replenish my energy, complete, regain my senses. And so I said, it is quite late right here. It's 2 a.m. In the wee hours. It's nice. It's 2 a.m. at night. And I said, I should make a live, do a live. Why not? I'm always up for this. This is something that I like. How can I tell you this? It's like traveling. It will be at some point nice to say, hey, I'm in this or such and such city and whatever, and maybe I could I get do some networking, right? And network in the city where I'm right now. But I'm an introvert. I spend so much social energy, and today I didn't want to, go out. It's something that is very hard for me to go actually go out because I enjoy mostly indoor fun. Well, wait a minute. That came out wrong. But whatever. You understand what I mean. It's 2 a.m. in the morning right now, and I was not thinking of just hitting the city or anything. But instead, Or instead, I decided to stay here and spend some time with you, my royal rogues. I know you you love um, this all this stuff that we talk about in this channel, and especially because I can like ramble a bit in this case, of course, focus on the British royal family, and I'm trying to do these lives over and over again every day. Has been a bit hard. It's I don't have any excuses. As I told you, I've been traveling all day. Has been a really long day. I woke up at like what 5 a.m. in the morning, and it has been more than 20 hours. Crazy day, doing a lot of stuff, but I'm here. So I want to just spend 1 hour with you talking about this. And this was a topic that was very, very hot, extremely hot. That Belle Hypothec and on Twitter, I suggest that you follow her because this is gonna be today's program, today's live is gonna be thanks to her. Belle Hypothec on Twitter because I said, I was wondering how many times in Tom Bauer's book someone in the background, a second tier character, for example, and nobody said, who is Meghan Markle? And I've joked about creating a t-shirt with that slogan. I should do that. I should copyright it first because you know that my ideas, people are listening to my ideas so they can make that. I think people are expecting me to create any kind of design on who the F is Meghan Markle to just go for it. But then Belle Hypothec did it for real. The body language guy suggested that he counted the number of times someone said, who the F is Meghan Markle in Tom Bauer's book Revenge. I count approximately 17 as detailed below. This is great. Remember that all you have to do right now to support my channel is hit the like button. And if you feel fancy for it, super chats and super stickers will do the job nicely, including the PayPal link in the description of this video. If you're looking at the alternate question of who the F does Meghan Markle think she is, well, that is easy. That is basically the whole book. Prefix page through to page 416. Yeah, the whole book is who does Meghan Markle think she is. And just to be clear, it's every single one of us. For example, every single one of us that's become public persons, like myself. I'm the body language guy, I'm the royal rogue, I'm Jesus Enrique Rosas, I'm a public person, thanks to this marvelous audience of body language buddies and royal rogues that support me so nicely because I am nothing without you. I am just my audience, that's it. It's like we have been unknowns at some point of time. I had 0 followers like back in 2009 when I began my social media journey. It was amazing. I had a couple of friends in this that told me, "Hey, you should jump into Twitter." And at the time I said, what is Twitter? Like, who the F is Meghan Markle? Well, I said, what is Twitter? What is all that about? What is social media about? And I was hooked since then. And I'm sure that this love for social media and sharing content and creating content is gonna be, well, my full-time job for years or decades. So every single person at one point of their lives has been a complete nobody. There's no shame in that. There's no reason to be to bully anyone and say, "Ha, you were a nobody at once." That's what's beautiful, in fact, about managing to reach so much people at some point of your life, because it's like a journey you have. You have one first follower at some point. I remember that I left social media in 2013 for mental health, personal reasons, and I came back in 2018. And oddly enough, I remember exactly who was my very first follower in the second coming in 2018. But it's nice to be an unknown. Anonymity is great in so many ways, but people need to see a face. People will love to see your face and your voice. So that's why I usually encourage you to use this channel to grow an audience, because that helps you in so many ways. That helps you be, for example, excited to share things with them, or that makes you feel, even if you're an introvert, you can have an audience to talk to and have all these wonderful comments that you just we have back and forth. That will be great. So I'm not saying that Meghan, of course, had to be an unknown from the start, but like everyone. Now, not everyone is an unknown from the start. For example, the royal family, William and Harry, couldn't possibly be unknowns from the start. Every royal child can't possibly be an unknown from the start, because they are public public people since the beginning of time. You cannot do anything about that. But for the rest of us mortals, well, we have to grind it to reach. Oh, this is nice. Bell Hypothec has joined the stream as BAR. I don't see you. I'm sorry that I don't have. I'm using my laptop and I have a very cramped space. I would like to bestow upon you the title of moderator, BAR. But I don't see you yet. I don't have but I will do it next time, promised. So this is not shaming people and saying, hey, you are nobody, you're not gonna make it. And everybody has been a nobody at some point. But in the case of Meghan, the problem with Meghan is that question, who does she think she is? And at many points in Tom Bauer's book, this is the issue that we have with her presence, so to speak, is that he acted like people owed her something, that people had to run to her every whim, that the paparazzi were going to flock to any place she was going to be at. Okay, so that was a bit excessive in that regard. So that's why it looks so silly that Meghan has this self-aggrandizing persona, this self-aggrandizing attitude, and people say, all right, that is great. Maybe we can have in the show or whatever, but by the way, who is she? And that is great. That is a great joke. Great joke. So the first instance is Tom Bauer himself at page 12 in the preface, when he refers to Meghan as this unknown American actress. We're going to talk about that. That is an interesting expression, unknown American actress. And so the second instance is chapter 5, Manhunt, page 52. Kelly Thomas Morgan from Sunshine Sacks was paid $7,500 per month to transform, yes, this unknown actress into a global celebrity. November 2013, when Meghan first flew to Dublin. That is interesting. That is you have this PR agency, Sunshine Sacks. It's not doing the impossible. Nothing is impossible for a good public relations agency. The problem that you need, the problem that is usually the main question is, what do you want to be famous for? And with shape-shifting Meghan, with reinventing Meghan, this has changed so many times that, well, it must be hard to say, well, she's gonna reinvent herself at this point, and she's gonna just drop all her friends, her prior connections, to begin from zero. And at the same time, starting from zero is also a nice idea sometimes. So you just need to say, hey, what I'm doing is not working anymore. And I've encouraged hundreds of people to start from zero. It's not easy. I had to do it a couple times, more than a couple times, a handful of times, to say the least, along my life. But sometimes it's even necessary. In these times that are so changing that we are not sure that what we are doing today is gonna make us feel safe financially, secure, or anything tomorrow, when we have to be aware of these changes, what's going around us. So starting from zero, like maybe not starting from zero, maybe you don't become an entrepreneur, you don't quit your 9 to 5 and become an entrepreneur on the spot. It's something that you have to ease yourself into. Big disclaimer about that. No, I, for example, as for me, I had no idea who Meghan Markle was. I've told you this story many times. 3 days before the Oprah interview, I know that I made a couple analysis on her, like it was in 2020 or 2019. I just made a brief mention. I didn't even have a YouTube channel back then. And maybe I did 2 clips for Facebook, or I think my Facebook page, in Spanish, and that was it. Like, whatever. But now I knew about her, like, by all this shenanigans that she's been into. But well, someone was paid $7,500 a month to do magic. And not magic because it was Meghan Markle, magic because that's what PR agencies do. So the first instance is page 54. And by the way, some of you are asking for what is that Manchester nonsense that they're going to do this One Young World conference, this summit that is a charity event for people that are paying upwards of £3,500 to attend. I think it's 3 days. More than £1,000 per day to attend to a summit where the articles are going to be. Well, I'm going to tell you something about that summit. I'm not going to criticize the intentions behind it. I wanted to tell you something about that One Young World Summit. I want to attend that summit. I want to be there. But I just want to be there if I had the guarantee that I could see the articles face to face. I want to have them. I want to see them in the flesh. I want to see how do they look like, how do they act. And boy, if I go to one event, maybe this event, maybe I just spoiled the surprise for this event. Maybe now the bodyguards are going to be in all alarms, all DEFCON 4. The body language guys coming here, spot him at all costs. Maybe at any other event, I would pay. I would pay good money. I would pay good money to see the articles face to face. And if I have the opportunities to shake their hands without them knowing it was me, much better. Maybe you're aware or you are familiar with Sacha Baron Cohen, this comedian that made Borat, made Bruno, made all this really funny. Maybe some people find him bad taste. Some people find him really funny. But I thought a lot about Sasha in regards of like having a disguise when meeting Harry and Meghan, even interviewing. Can you imagine myself interviewing Harry and Meghan with some kind of disguise or something? I don't know, dreadlocks or something. I'm a hippie interviewing you, and whatever, and with an accent. Sacha Baron Cohen did a documentary called "This Is America." I think it was the name of the documentary, and he had this fancy disguises on all these shenanigans, and that was so fun to watch. And I thought, why not? I should do something like that. But you can imagine that £3,000, more than £3,000, to have a shot at just being near the articles, it's quite a lot of money. There's so many things happening in the world. I think we can spend that money in much better ways, in actual charities, in people doing real good work for that. Yes, I am from Venezuela originally. I'm yes, I remember that Borat. I'm sorry that my highlighted comments are not don't have the new design. Yeah, the Borat Mankini. I remember that that sketch was nice. So yeah, 3,000 pounds. That I prefer to give it to charities or the charity of your choice. That would much better. I usually my favorite, if I can say favorite, I usually like to support charities that focus on researching Alzheimer. Okay, I think Alzheimer is something that if we can eradicate it, I would like to bring more awareness to it. I would love to bring awareness to Alzheimer because if we can eradicate it, there's so many years and even decades of good life that can people expect in their senior years. So that would be really useful. I think that's nice to think about. That's why I'm always when I would think about charities or something, I usually try to look for that Alzheimer. Yes, it's a terrible disease, and it's a disease that affects the whole families. It's terrible. So I think we all should be aware of that and try to fund and try to support any legit charity or any legit research agency or university that focus on this problem. But well, we have the third instance. It's page 54. She was co-hosting a TV gala and standing grinning on the red carpet in Leicester Square. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that city correctly. Hoping to be in the papers the next day. The editors rejected her plea. The readers had no interest in Miss Nobody. Well, how did they know that she was Miss Nobody? Or maybe they were not aware of her. Who is this woman? Why does she think that she can just appear in the papers next day? It's like you have to put in the work. I'm glad I made it to Yahoo Japan this week. This was awesome. Seeing the little alarm go off and hey, you are in Yahoo Japan and all Japanese, and my name Jesusu Areka Rosasu, and Japanese was amazing. I love Japan. I love that country, their culture, their language, everything, their food, everything about Japan. I love Japan with quite a high percentage of my heart. Not saying all my heart because there's so many beautiful countries too. But it's something that I feel glad of doing, but especially after all this grinding of researching, of making videos, of publishing memes. That was from not a meme, but this was this comparison I did on my Twitter account. Remember, my Twitter account is right in the ticker below my headshot. I made this comparison between William at 4 years old and Prince Louis at 4 years old, and that was what got me on Yahoo Japan. Just something as nice as that. But of course, if I had never talked about the royal family, if I never touched this subject, and I do that, it's much less likely for me to appear in Yahoo Japan. Okay, so it's something that you have to not only work hard but focus on something. There's something that I know I talk about a lot about gossip in here, and I Well, I make fun of the Harkles a lot here, and we talk about the royal family a lot too. But I also like to give you some insights on what has worked for me, and I know that it can work for you. You will never be able to push beyond those limits that you have, that we all have, if you don't really focus on something. And I have to tell you, I have my doubts about focusing on being a royal commentator. That's something that in September of last year, 1 year ago, that never crossed my mind. I never crossed my mind. It was in October 2021 when I decided, well, let's have a shot at this. I'm going to go daily videos on the royal family no matter what. And this is how it has worked. Two thriving channels. The Royal Rogue is about to hit 30,000 subscribers. How about that? And I should make more lives for the Royal Rogue. I have to do that. Oh, well, the third instance of Meghan Markle, of people saying, well, who is Meghan Markle? Is the editors rejected her plea. Oh my God, we already have read this one. The fourth instance is page 55. Over drinks with Lizzie Cundy, she confessed Hollywood was brutal the last 10 years and she had failed to make a breakthrough. This is not a mystery. Hollywood is let's say impossible to break through. You can imagine thousands of actors and actresses trying to make their breakthrough, their big time, and they simply don't get it. They simply don't get it because there's so much content out there. Studios don't want to risk with a fresh face. You have to start with very short or small parts until you begin being recognized. Okay, and right now Hollywood is extremely fractured between movies, streaming movies, TV shows, and at the same time, TV shows makes you easier to have a breakthrough, because if you nail as a not as a protagonist but as a secondary character, maybe you have the shot to at least last more than one season, so people get used to your face, to your body language, to your attitude, to your acting, to everything. Hey, I like this guy, I like this girl, and that audience that you begin building, that will help you. And of course, social media helps a lot for that. People need to be on social media and interact with their followers. That's what something that Meghan did originally. That's why she began her blog, The Tig. That was a nice move. Now, what do you think? How much do you think that The Tig was ghost written, as someone else wrote The Tig? What do you think about it? I always thought that it was Meghan who wrote herself The Tig, because why not? Because I think at that point in her career, hiring a ghostwriter to write something that The Tig was not actually giving her money. Please correct me. It's not like she was an influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers to say, hey, The Tig is actually profitable. Okay, I don't think I ever heard that The Tig was profitable. So hiring a ghostwriter to write The Tig articles, I think that was a bit far-fetched. I have my doubts about that. The Tig was all about getting freebies. Well, maybe yes, maybe that will be nice, because she wanted this chick. That was her chick stage. That was nice. I want to look like Meghan wanted to look like how to say that, stylish, right? So many words are escaping my my mind right now. But yes, it's like she wanted to be seen as stylish, as avant-garde, and that's why she used this fashion platform to do that. That's nice. That's something that we can learn from Meghan. We can actually learn that from Meghan. She put in the work to be noticed, to be seen. That is nice. We can learn that from her. But well, she had failed to make a breakthrough. Hollywood's too tough, even if you have the right connections. Even if you have the right connections, it was too tough. Fifth instance is on page 64. And I always mispronounce her last name. But Gina Nilthorne-Crone first attempts to get Meghan booked as a speaker at the Dublin One World 2014 seminar. Kate Robertson was cool on the idea. Nobody, including her, knew Meghan Markle. The daughter did though, and that's why Kate Robertson's daughter was the one who vouched for her. Sixth instance, page 68. Pentagon-sponsored trip to entertain forces. The service families at every stop were puzzled. Few knew her name or understood her peppery speech about suits, and she looked pained when asked to sing, especially White Christmas. Well, not everyone knows how to sing. That was that is a bit harsh. And I'm not gonna defend anyone with that because I'm gonna be naughty in here, but we survived Hugh Jackman, Les Miserables. Oh well. Seventh instance, page 72, when she was appointed UN Women's Advocate for political participation in Africa. People making video were told a famous TV celebrity will make video. Hassel was dumbfounded. Who? He and his producer had never heard of Meghan or Suits. This patterns. I told you that we all of us have been nobodies at one point of our lives, and sometimes it has been painful to make that breakthrough. But it's like they were trying to push the narrative of this famous, and people that didn't actually know her. It's like you're trying to force that fame beyond the work that you have actually done to deserve it, to earn it. That is wrong. That is wrong because you will be seen entitled. You will be seen as like you're trying to fake things. Fake till you make it. That sentence works sometimes if you put in the work. You cannot fake it forever. Well, the Harkles have been faking it for like a couple years or more, but I don't know if they have faked it. I don't know if they have made it. If they have made it, because they haven't made our swipes yet. They haven't made anything they have promised yet. Well, we are still expecting their hard work to shine. Eighth instance, page 75. Gina couldn't book her in London. She was rejected. The reason was always the same. She was unknown, and so was Suits. This is a problem. You have this platform, and there's so many ways you can go beyond that platform. I've found many amazing people on Instagram. And I found out, and later found out, that they are acting on these TV shows that I never knew about. So it's sometimes the person makes it sure to be known for good reasons, for the right reasons, and in turn, people find out about their TV shows because they meet the person first, like digitally through Instagram. That is nice, and it's like Meghan was expecting people to just know about Suits and then by extension to know about her, when it should be the other way around. You should make sure people to get to know you, and maybe in that way, with that value that you're giving people, people really get to know you. Because what is the problem? If people know you just about or by a TV show, that will be nice. That is a nice platform, but in turn they're not knowing you as a person. They're just knowing you as your character. And maybe your character is not you in real life, and most probably your character is not you in real life. Okay? It's not like Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds. I hope to meet Ryan Reynolds someday and tell him to his face how amazing I think he is. Yes, I say that. Ryan Reynolds is amazing, but it always looks like he's acting like as himself in movies. And that is nice. I don't expect anything else from him. Do that. Keep doing that, Ryan. Keep at it. Just keep doing that. But I think social media is for that, for people to know you personally, okay, or know or at least know what you think. For example, my social media is not that personal. I'm quite private about my personal life. If you know that I'm from Venezuela, that's it. That's all that you're gonna know from me, and I like to keep it that way. But in return, I make sure that you know what I think about most topics that maybe don't have to do with the topic that you like about me in the first place. For example, topics that doesn't have to do anything with the royal family. Okay, I try to be as spontaneous as possible, and that's why I sometimes, yes, I screw up. I also screw up in social media, and I've apologized, and I deleted tweets, and I made all this process as any person, because I try to, in my privacy, I try to be as spontaneous as possible and try to share with you my thoughts and feelings about topics. And maybe that's one way, that's a great way to remain private, but at the same time connect with you. Maybe you agree with my points of view, maybe you don't agree with some of my point of view. That is great. We can agree to disagree. But you cannot depend on a TV show to make you famous, because the TV show is making your character famous. It's not the same. It's never the same. Okay? We want to know, people want to know the person beyond the character or behind the character, as you want to say that. And for that we have social media, but in social media we have to be a bit vulnerable. We have to risk it just a bit, to maybe sometimes go against the flow, maybe sometimes say uncomfortable things, maybe sometimes say what we actually think, even if we know that's gonna hurt people's feelings. That's why that's unavoidable. If you are vanilla all the time, if you are politically correct all the time, and if you are woke all the time, people are going to see through your facade and say, this is not it. This is not what I signed for. This is how to say that? What is the right word? This is fake. This is the right word. This is fake. You will be faking it till you make it, but no, you're faking it until people realize that you're just a fake. You're not for real. You don't add anything of value, and that is the problem. That's what we should always strive for. And of course, if in these platforms, they're great for introverts, because for an extrovert sometimes it's a bit easier to connect with people. But us that have this limited amount of social energy, this format is perfect for us. So that's my experience. That's why I can tell you about myself. But well, I don't think it was necessary people to know about Suits. We could have found out about Meghan for so many reasons, maybe charity reasons, activism reasons. But 9th instance, page 84, her lawyer, Rick pitched Lori Sale a brand contract for Meghan. Sale had never heard of Meghan or Suits, but concluded even an ensemble actor on a cable show was a minor celebrity could be placed. Okay? That resulted in Reitman's contract. I must confess, I liked the way Meghan looked in Reitman's campaign. She looked nice. She looked really fresh. There was I have said it many times. There was an era of Meghan that she looked really fresh, like she could really make it. She looked nice, a nice person. So many things that we have found out down the road that reveal her true nature. But I have to say, she must have she could have fooled millions back then, millions. 10th instance in page 86, 2015. During that same trip to London, she went with Gina to a small meeting addressed by Emma Watson, her hero and role model. At the end, she asked to meet Watson. The actress rejected the request. It's like, if I ask to meet Emma Watson, she's gonna say, body language, who? Who is this guy? Who is Jesus Enrique Rosa? So nobody. I'm nobody. I'm still the new kid on the block. I doubt if Emma Watson can name 5 royal commentators, much less the newest royal commentator of this industry or whatever. So, well, Meghan was nagged at the time. That must have hurt. That must have hurt her feelings. That hurts anyone to be rejected like that. Well, next instance, on the same page, she accepted Marcus Anderson's invitation to celebrate the opening of Soho House in Istanbul, endlessly posing for photographs with other guests. She was disappointed that, unlike the celebrities at the party, she was not named when published. Well, I'm going to tell you about the importance of frame. And I have a little bias about this because as you can be aware of, I'm a man. And I cannot say that it works the same for women. But for men, frame is important. It's critical. Having frame in any circumstance. Even before I really went all into body language, I knew how to command my body language, my frame in public instances to be noticed. It's strange. I'm like a strange introvert because I have real trouble starting a conversation with a stranger. I always have trouble with starting a conversation with strangers. And for some reason, the concept of priming people into having a conversation with me or nice conversation with me, something that I learned intuitively. With my intuition. Before knowing about behavior, before knowing about body language, I said, I need to, by some way, pre-persuade this person or pre-convince this person that I'm interesting before opening my mouth. And somehow, I knew it has something to do with my body. And I was very lucky to have conversations down the road years after this encounters, there's first impressions. I had the opportunity to have the recollections for these people, both men and women, from that first impression they had from me, and they always they made this reference of my presence. Said, we have all these people in the room, we have all these friends that we knew, and you were like a guest, and we didn't know who you were, but for somehow you made yourself notice. Okay? Now, again, I'm a man. I know how to frame myself as an interesting man. I don't really have an idea how a woman can do the same. And it also depends on how you want to attract attention, because you know that every single person has a different way to attract attention, or is comfortable with different kind of attentions. Okay, I knew that I knew that I could have an interesting conversation with people because, well, my mind is a sponge that can adapt to almost anything. But I was so afraid of making the first contact. In fact, especially if it was a woman, that I needed to know. Well, I must prime people into looking at myself as an interesting person. So I think it's something that is something that I developed before even knowing that body language existed, or how to apply body language, because that was like a defense mechanism. I need to be noticed in a way that that favors or benefits me. Okay, so being disappointed because you're not named, well, that is maybe you're focusing too much on yourself. And yes, frame is about oneself, but you have to understand that it's not like you're focusing on yourself, because when I was aware of my frame, of my body language, to persuade people into thinking that I was an interesting man, it's like I lost my train of thought in the air. It's like I was not that interested on them knowing me by name, because I knew that my name meant nothing. I have this intuition of something that I found out along the road. That is, what is important is how people feel when they are around you. That's all that matters, not your name. They might forget your name. That's okay. I'm used to people forgetting my name, especially because my name in Latin America is very common. So it's not that special. It becomes special when I use my two names, and that's why I use Jesus Enrique Rosas. But it's something that, they forgot my name. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But they will never forget. I think it was Maya Angelou who said that in a quote. They will never forget how you made them feel. And if you can make the right first impression, have this frame, make yourself an interesting person even before opening your mouth, and then leading the conversation by listening, by truly listening, because you can. The way to lead a conversation is not by talking. People have this error, this mistake of I have to lead the conversation, then I have to talk, I have to ask questions. No, just have to listen. Listen first, asking questions to what you hear, and every now and then paraphrasing what the other person is saying. And if there is any chance, you can talk about your anecdotes. Okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. It's deceptively simple, but it works. And it worked for me to be perceived as an interesting person when I finally open my mouth. So it's not that important if people forget your name. They will remember that, and that's why business cards are made for, to people. Oh yeah, I remember this guy. I remember this nice conversation. He talked about what? No, I was the one who talked all the time. And you make the people talk about themselves. You make yourself really interested in what they have to say about themselves. That's it. You don't need a course for that. There's something that Meghan could have done. She could have the charm to do that, the smile, the attitude, but always focusing on herself, that was a bad idea. 12th instance, page 86. Meghan's anonymity beyond Toronto was irritating her. Even the Swiss watch manufacturer was still considering whether to hire Meghan. Yeah, they have their doubts. Is this the right way? Is this the right call? I think this is the rise of not YouTubers, maybe not only YouTubers, because TikTok, people ask, why TikTok influencers. What is the actual value of TikTok influencers? And maybe people making great content down there. I remember this lady making English classes. She's amazing at that. I forgot her username, but it's usually in YouTube where you have to make a more curated content and have to be more engaging. Maybe Twitch influencers, well, when they're talking, maybe they have good points, good ideas, nice ideas, but it's YouTube. I think it's YouTube, the rise of this meritocracy, that you can go from a complete nobody with no agency, no money, no connections, and a huge fear of talking to people to a global audience. So this is what you can have. So anonymity, you can break that anonymity, but you have to put in the work, and you need to give people what they want. And to give people what they want, you have to ask them what they want. And you have to ask, find out. It's not like it's all about me because I love to do such and such and such. No, it's about the people you want to address. What do they need? What do they want to see? You have to be an outward person. Even if you're an introvert like me, you need to be an outward person, genuinely interested in what people live, what people feel, what people think. That's all that I did. That's all that I did. That's nothing more. That's a trick. Next, page 93. In 2016, oh my God, jumping. Meghan was photographed between John Fitzpatrick and Liam Neeson at a fundraiser. To her misfortune, the badly lit photo failed to portray her beauty. Moreover, it spoke volumes for M's insignificance that the Hollywood star would later insist that he had never met Meghan. Oh, that begins to hurt. That's something. That's why I'm telling you, just forget about being remembered. Forget about that. Think about remembering details about the other person. And this is something that I'm going to tell you. That's the biggest persuasion trick ever. This is the biggest persuasion trick. And persuasion is not a bad word. You can persuade people into doing positive things. You can persuade people into doing things that is good for both parties. That is nice about persuasion. Manipulation is making people do something that only benefits you and even harms them. But persuasion could be win-win situation if you only do these things. There's 3 things that you have to do. Easy. Remember, the first one is remember. Always remember the person's first name. The first name, that's it. You can forget their last name. You can forget their middle name. You can forget their title. Doesn't matter. Remember their first name. In my case, Jesus. That's easy. That's it. First name. Second, always remember something that person likes. Okay? That person maybe likes pistachio ice cream. Okay? For example. Or they like science fiction movies, or they like playing basketball, or they like playing the guitar, or something. They like something that they like, as stupid that you might imagine. Maybe they like 3 sugar cubes on their coffee. I don't know. It doesn't have to be something big or extraordinary. No, something that they like. Okay. Of course, the more complex the topic that they like, then the more opportunities you have for a conversation around that topic. If they like skiing and you don't know a single thing about skiing, then it's nice that you can ask them. I will always have wanted to learn about skiing. What is the best approach that I should have? Where should I go? Well, that's nice. You can start a conversation like that. That's the second. What do they like? And the third is, find out something that they are going to do in the near future. The near future can be tomorrow or next week, or could be the next month. And what is this for? This is for the next time you talk to them. you stumble upon maybe at a meeting or on LinkedIn or on social media, make sure to ask this event how it went. Maybe they were just going to the holidays to an exotic place. They were going to give a speech on next week, or they were going to have this meeting or something that you found out that was relevant to them. Take note of that. There's no problem. Just go into your mobile phone and under your contact in notes, you add what do they like and what were they going to do. Next time you talk to them, you check your notes and you know that what they like, you can always make a reference to that. Maybe they like skiing, then you can include reference to skiing in your speech. You don't have to talk about skiing. You can include references or analogies to skiing in your talking, and that way the person notices that you paid attention to them, okay, and that you care about what they said. That is amazing. You can't imagine how many doors can that open for you. And remember, something that they were going to do is asking, hey, how this speech went? How did you do? I wanted to know. I had the idea. I forgot to send you an email about that. Doesn't matter, but you ask them about it and you use their first name whenever you can. Okay, don't overuse that. But every now and then in the conversation, you tell, hey, Jesus, such and such and such and such. Those are the three most important principles of persuasion that work with anybody. And I've just gave you for free. The only price you have to pay is to apply it in your daily life. I made reference to these tricks more than a couple times in my lives, in my other videos, but it's fundamental. You are unaware of the power it can have, the transformational power these 3 tips can have in your life if you apply them consistently from now on. Remember people's first name and use it. Remember something that they like, doesn't have to be complicated, and remember something that they are going to do to ask them for it next time you meet them. It's that. Your life will be transformed. Guaranteed here. I'm your improvised guru tonight. Just go for it. Just do it. Next one. 15th instance, page 99, reads man's first year of campaign. She insists on checking into Place the Arms Hotel under an alias, Jane Smith, to avoid being hassled by the hotel staff, other guests, or photographers. The production team were flummoxed. I don't know how to pronounce that. No one in French-speaking Montreal knew Meghan. In the event, the hotel refused her request. Registered under her own name, no paparazzi gathered outside the hotel. Oh my God. What can I say? It's like you are forcing fame into your face. It doesn't work like that. It will never work like that. I have to make a pause to say that I'm amazed that the Royal Rogue has more than 600 Royal Rogues watching right now. How many of you have hit the like button? Big question. Okay, flummoxed. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for that. All right, Marcus Anderson, 16th instance. On holidays with Marcus Anderson and Jessica Moroni and Misha Nonu, the 4 were kindred spirits, each of them yearning to be part of the jet set. In reality, Meghan's day-to-day life was utterly conventional, and I don't know what's wrong about that. All of our lives are conventional. I could say that Beyoncé is as prosaic as a human being as anyone can be. That Taylor Swift can be as prosaic, and so many things as any other human being. It's like this. What is the problem of having a uh, utterly conventional life? That is nice. I like to have a conventional life. That's what makes the non-conventional moments stand out and have actual impact in your life. If your life was full of non-conventional moments, then you will you will develop a resistance to them. You will not really appreciate them. That will be a problem. Big problem. You will get bored with so much stimulus. Page 122. Harry had never heard of Meghan Markle, but he trusted the judgment of his childhood friend Violet von Westenholz. Exactly what did she mean about Meghan's background? Her biography on Google was enticing. Well, that is important. That's why you should control what people find about you on Google. That's especially the first couple dozen results. Oh, this is interesting. I love Marjorie interacting. Hello, Marjorie. How have you been? Glad to have you here. If you are with the right people, then conventional is amazing. Couldn't agree more with you. Maybe she was with the wrong people. Food for thought. That I love that appreciation. I love that appreciation of that what Meghan Markle was at that moment. 18th instance. Page 160, Vanity Fair. The editor-in-chief pitched that M should not only be offered an interview in the illustrious magazine, but also a guarantee to feature on the cover. Carter, famed as a man ahead of the curve, had never heard of Meghan or Suits. Okay, the editor of Vanity Fair had no idea who Meghan Markle was. Yeah, let that sink in. Let that sink in. It's like Meghan was trying to force that, but they told him Meghan is the one. She's the one to bring balance to the force. She's the one to make things right with the royal family. She could be the one to finally be engaged to Harry because they were not engaged at that moment. Maybe the cover, maybe Vanity Fair's magazine cover could force Harry into asking the question, into proposing. That's what is in Tom Bauer's book. And so far we're reading all the instances that Meghan Markle, well, people had no idea who Meghan Markle was, and she insisted on be treated as a AAA celebrity. And this is thanks to Belle Hypothek that made all this compilation on her Twitter. And I strongly suggest, I ask you, go and follow her on Twitter. I already did to, well, give this insights like this, and I have to say something else. It's not usual that you find people that can write tweets nicely, correctly, with nice punctuation marks. Props to her. I have to say that. Props to her. This, oh, Veronica, you always nail it. Don't forget, Meghan never heard of Harry. Yeah, Meghan was looking for William. William was the actual target, and Harry was collateral damage. He was the despair. Hush, Harry, hush. 19th instance, page 162. Sam Kashner, a long-standing contributing editor at the magazine, was assigned the interview. I don't know who this woman is, and I've never heard of Suits, Kashner told his editor before flying to Toronto in late June. This was the moment that I was making an analysis of Tom Bauer's book that I had to laugh out loud at this. I have no idea who this woman is. That was magical. I will nice. I'm game interviewing her. All right, no problem. But who is she again? That's what that's what was happening at the moment. And again, I'm going to make the disclaimer: there's no problem in being a nobody at some point of our life, because everybody that is a celebrity or known worldwide has been a nobody at some point of their lives. The problem is that Meghan was constantly pushing the narrative that she was more famous or more recognized or more important that she actually was. And this is always in regards of the value that you put to people that watch your shows, that are interested in your work, in what you are doing. I think I made a special answer to this. Yeah, this was my answer to her thread. You are amazing. I have to say, it was an amazing thread to read, an amazing compilation of who this woman was. Of course, once the Vanity Fair cover appeared and she got engaged to Harry as a byproduct of that subtle or maybe not so subtle push, then everybody began to be aware of who this Meghan Markle was. For herself onto people. I like that how to express that, for herself onto people. Somebody is nobody sometimes. Everybody is nobody sometimes at some point of their lives. I agree with that. But well, this is it. I wanted to give you these insights about who or what to expect and those stages of a person that wanted to be more famous than she really was, and how she acted, how she pushed herself onto people to have their way. That's all what she wanted. Have their way and win the ultimate prize. And she still hasn't got what she really wants, and we still don't know what she really wants, and that's why I want to meet them face to face to know what are they all about. Yeah, it will be nice, but that must be something out of the blue. I can't reveal my plans like this. I know I will be able to do it at some point, and they will not see it coming, but I'll have to plan this myself. Of course, please, sugars, Sussex Squad, I'm not saying that I'm going to do anything wrong. I just want to shake their hands. That's all what I want to do. And maybe interview them for 15 minutes. I can tell you, I've thought that I need some kind of disguise for that. I think that this could be a nice disguise. A Nietzsche mustache, okay? And a wig or something to hide my identity, and have a strong Austrian accent and say, I've been a fan of the Hercules for so many. Oh, Hercules not bad. I've been a fan of Harry and Meghan for so long, and wanted to interview them in some way, and ask them about their charities and their initiatives and their activism and strength. Yeah, and at the end, that will be nice. Giving her a t-shirt at the end. Or as this interview, have this t-shirt for you and film the reaction of that. That will be magical. How can I do that? I have to plan for this. And I have to, have that Nietzsche stash. I will be, or a more like a Desi Arnaz, accent. But I'm already have a Latino accent, so that will reveal. Maybe I'm like Clark Kent. I take my glasses off, and then they must have seen so many videos of my videos without glasses, that they also know my with glasses mug. So I need to find another way to do this. I know I'll find a way. I always, whatever I set my mind to, I've always made a reality. That's something I have. You can do exactly the same if you know exactly what you want, if you really want it, and you give it time working every day. It's a numbers game. Everything is a numbers game if you put yourself into it. my royal rogues. This was just an amazing life. More than 3 in the morning right now here in my undisclosed location. And I'm so energized for all your comments or your presence. 700 Royal Rogues here. And it's so amazing to have you here. And so amazing how this channel has thrived beyond everything, all that I expected. And I must say that I haven't made all the lives that I should have made up to this point. I should make more lives because there's so many of you attending this lives and my jokes and everything that I have to say about the Harkles and the royal family, that I should do them. I should do them more frequently. My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue and the Body Language Guy. And until we meet again on another video, another live, a short, long video, doesn't matter, because what matters is the 2 most important words: much love and bliss. Please take care, because I love you all. Bye bye.